Metaverse, and the world's big brands.
Thank you so much, and good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to our panel conversation, which I am especially excited about. But before going to more like why, I would like the panelists to introduce themselves, so who you are, and why have you been asked to be part of this panel?
Thank you so much. Hey, everybody. So my name is Sam Huber. I'm the founder of a company called LandVault. So LandVault today is the largest construction company in the virtual world. So we have about 160 people in the company now, out of which 120 are artists, architects, designers that are actually building experiences for brands. We build experiences for brands like MasterCard, Heineken, Red Bull, L'Oreal, Yas Island in Abu Dhabi. So a lot of those brands that are entering the metaverse, actually LandVault behind the scene is the company that helps them there. And in addition, from the creative execution, we also provide infrastructure for them. For example, analytics, so they can understand how the audience performs in the experience that they have built, or monetization solutions. So that's what we do. So we have a pretty good experience to understand what brands are actually doing in the metaverse. We've been doing it for 5 years in the gaming world and for the last 2 years in the metaverse.
Okay, that sounds cool. Just to check that you all hear as well? Okay, because the noise is quite a lot. So next, there you go. I thought there should be a mic for each and everyone. Please go ahead.
Yeah. Hi, everyone. My name is Andy Kou, founder, CEO of ALTAVA Group. We are the luxury fashion tech company at the intersection of Web3, Web2, and IRL. We work with the top luxury brands from Paris, Milan, Rome, etc. And we are very, I'm very excited to be here with you guys.
Amazing. Welcome, obviously. Then.
I'm Paul Dawalibi. Most people know me as the Prophet. If you were here like an hour ago, you've heard my intro, but I've spent 2 decades either building or investing in tech companies. About 5 years ago, I decided to focus entirely on gaming and metaverse. I host the biggest show in the region on the business of gaming in the metaverse called 𝐒𝐭𝐨𝐬𝐬 on CNBC. And I just published a book called Metaverse Dream. In terms of your question, why I'm invited here, I have no idea why anyone ever asks me to come speak with my big mouth.
Well, we know that you have always some good stuff to tell us, so that's why.
Yeah, hello everyone. My name is Roman. I'm founder and CEO of Antix company. We located in US and focus on working with big brands like HBO, Warner Brothers, Tencent. They have a huge experience with creating AAA gaming and software solution with hyper-realistic avatars. Work together with big brands in fashion industry like Alexander McQueen and Ouroboros company. And really excited to be here. And yeah, let's start it. Thank you.
Awesome. And obviously, as the topic of this panel is Metaverse and the big brands or world's big brands, you already can hear that we have experts on the stage. So my name is Anita Kalergis. I'm also known as Crypto Granny. And Crypto Granny does a lot of cool stuff. But the reason why this specific panel is of great interest to me is that Crypto Granny's Cafe in Metaverse launched 1 month ago. So I'm having every Sunday evening meetups there. And now my next step going forward is obviously attract all the big brands to want to sponsor me. So I have the guys here. But to start the panel, I would like to ask one question to all of you to answer, and starting with that, from your perspective or on your view, how do you see the rate of adoption of the metaverse playing out, and what factors do you think will drive or hinder the widespread adoption among consumers?
Yeah, I can take a stab at that. Actually, it's a very relevant question because for the past year and a half where we've been building in the metaverse, we've seen huge changes in the way that brands are actually approaching the metaverse. So our company started purely building in the sandbox, which is a pixelated or voxelized environment. And that was very successful at the beginning. And then we moved into other platforms like Decentraland And then based on the region here specifically, a lot of brands are interested in more photorealistic environments. So it's been really interesting to see. And so what we are learning from that is three things. So one of them is the need for different content creation tools. You know, just voxelize, just Decentraland, just Unity, this is not going to appeal to everybody. So we need more ways for people to create because this will appeal to more use cases. So that's one. The second one, which is the biggest thing that is needed right now, is a standard protocol to deploy content. A lot of those platforms are standalone, closed. If you build with the Sandbox tool, you can only publish on the Sandbox, for example. And this is creating limitations when it comes to actually discovering content. So, and that's also something that LandVault is building. We are building the HTTP equivalent for the Metaverse. It's a protocol that whatever you build with, you can deploy your content, and that content is connected to all the other pieces of content. You know, if the Metaverse is the future of the internet, we need to have only one internet, not multiple internets. So that's the other thing. And then the last things are the tools. A lot of the things that are done right now are still done in a very manual way. You have to build pixel by pixel. You don't really have building blocks to build on top of, which would make the build and the monetization quicker. So these are the three things that we're basically focusing on to accelerate the economy of the Metaverse.
Okay, cool. And obviously the tools especially are the one that, you know, we need to get comfortable using in the new environment. Andy, do you see, you have a view for the adoption? Is there some hinders maybe, or how do you see it?
Yeah, the first, I think I'd like to define what the Metaverse is here. For me, the Metaverse here we're talking about is a virtual world built on blockchain. You know, by that definition, today we are only mainly targeting Web3 community, and there are only less than 100 million users have a crypto wallet. So that's a small community we're addressing. And so if you continue to build our Metaverse based on only targeting Web3 community, the adoption rate is going to be slow. So I think, you know, we need to improve user experience overall for non-crypto people to easily jump into what we call Metaverse today, right? So I think the crypto wallet, you know, should be more seamlessly embedded into your service, and also the payment system, right? How to purchase the cryptocurrency, that's even a big hurdle. So, you know, accepting credit card, you know, other means of payment solutions, you know, automatic, you know, seamlessly converts to crypto, vice versa, crypto to fiat, then payment solution needs to be embedded, you know, seamlessly. So then you can grow your audience community exponentially only then. So those are the solutions that we are working for, you know, at ALTAVA by helping our luxury brands, because that's always has been the hurdle, especially addressing to typical luxury brands audience. They're not crypto savvy. So it is always our challenge to make seamless experience, user experience embedded into anything that we provide to brands.
And there is a lot of people out there who already know that when you are creating something new, I'm the perfect person to test it with, because I'm in tech, I just know can do. And the user experience usually is not the best possible, so that surely is a hinder if it is one. Paul, adoption.
Look, I think the adoption from the big brands has been, there's been too much adoption, frankly. You know, I'm a startup guy at heart, and so I think pedal to the metal always, but I think a lot of the conversations that have happened is there's the CEO of company XYZ that sits on a panel like this, or is listening to me speak somewhere and decides Metaverse is cool, and then goes back and tells his people, guys, we need to do Metaverse. And then, you know, 6 months later, you have some shitty 3D website, Metaverse activation that doesn't generate any revenue, that doesn't improve the user experience, that does nothing at all, really, for the brand. And I'm seeing, actually that's all I'm seeing, I'll be honest. So that I haven't seen anything that bucks that trend. And that worries me. I think that's the challenge, which is how many of these shitty experiences can the industry sort of withstand before someone decides Metaverse is probably not the future. And that makes me sad, because I do think this is where all big brands need to be thinking, but most of them are being approached by crypto people Most of them are being approached by, Web3 people. And I think this is just the totally wrong way to be thinking about Metaverse as a big brand. It has to be focused on experience for the user, especially the luxury brand.
Absolutely, and then obviously that's what the buzzword stands for. First it was the NFTs, and now no one talks as NFTs, all are in Metaverse only.
So classic crypto people, just move on to the next thing that they can sort of
Easy
figure
to
out.
agree with you, absolutely. Roman.
Yeah, my opinion is we have some problem in metaverses. The first one is LTV, because nobody knows how we can use the metaverse right now. We go to metaverse and speak with our teammates, or with we create educations. But for my opinion, really crucial, it's creating the gamification inside in the metaverse, and also connection with real world, like a digital and real, we have connection with e-commerce, with real estate, with another stuff. And also we need to create the own IPs for the metaverses, because you need to attract the audience to your metaverses. For example, we spoke with HBO, and if HBO have some franchise, we can create additional metaverses for this franchise and attract the audience from this game or from this series to the metaverses, and create the gamification inside and serial inside, sorry. And that's it. This is really crucial right now. The second part, if you can create some really hyper-realistic avatar for the metaverses, like your double, your copy, but in digital space, you can use the outfits, the clothes inside the metaverses for yourself and buy it. And this is really crucial for create the new era and connection space with the digital space to the real life. I think that's it.
Yeah, and truly to create the traffic in there. I mean, if you would know that AIBC Summit has 5 visitors, would you come? No, you won't, or you wouldn't come back again. So the metaverses are the same. You go there and nothing happens, then no one is there, so why would you go? So definitely so. So now I have different questions for each and every one of you, and we would need to have like a 2 minutes maybe answer from each, so everyone gets to answer. We are running late, so I think we are speeding up. But I start with you, Samuel. So with the Generation Z, audience increasingly gravitating towards digital experiences, how do you think big brands can cater to their unique needs and preferences within the metaverse? So no grannies there.
Well, I think that speaks to the actual reason why the metaverse will exist, right? We're not building the metaverse for this generation or the older generations. We're building it for the next generation. You know, Generation Z and Generation Alpha, which is the next generation, born in 2010 or after, those people were born playing games, not watching TV. They're born with crypto since they were teenagers. They understand crypto. They understand what decentralization means. So they would be the perfect citizens of the metaverse. For them, it's just like for us going onto the internet. It's just a natural way to experience 3D environments. You know, I have nephews that use Fortnite as a social network. They just go there and they meet their friends and they chat with their friends. So the metaverse is going to be game technologies applied to non-gaming use cases, much broader. It could be commerce, it could be virtual concerts, it could be whatever. So this is why brands need to embrace the metaverse. And it's true what Paul said, that today, like everything, when you just start, you know, you have those proof of concept that don't really lead to any tangible results. But we're now starting to see, now that the hype is down, that brands are actually looking for KPIs. And this is why we're building analytics, so they can measure how many people have converted, how many people have redeemed this NFT, how many people have bought something. So there is a drive towards tangible KPIs, because the party of just creating experiences and doing headlines, that's kind of over. So now we need to move to tangible KPIs. But we see the metaverse as the best insurance to remain relevant for the next 10 years. Because when this generation is able to buy things, they have disposable income, there's going to be 2 billion of them in 2025. It's going to be the biggest customer segment. And if you don't speak their language by then, your brand would be at risk. So it's an insurance, and this is why brands need to start jumping in today.
Absolutely, and I can tell you that my 4-year-old granddaughter what she does with my mobile phone whenever I'm with her, I'm just amazed. So yeah, sure. Those are the guys to have in bear in mind once you're creating something for the next generations to come. Andy, in the era of the metaverse, what new business models and revenue streams do you envision for big brands? And how can they capitalize on these opportunities while still delivering value to users?
Right. I think Metaverse can bring extra value for brands. I can speak for luxury brands experience. By definition, their major target demographics are top 1%, 5% of entire population, leaving the other 95%, 90% who is inspired by product vision, behind. So if you think about virtual fashion as a business model, which is also most sustainable, eco-friendly business model you can possibly think, can address and bring in additional untapped revenue potential from those 95 to 90% of our population. And also on top of that, the second opportunity that I can possibly see is about the secondary marketplace. The brands do not have any control after the initial sales of their products. But with the Web3 technology, there's a further business model which is a seamless and transparent, going forward. Again, so that's why I think there's a huge potential opportunities for Metaverse, in Metaverse for brands, going forward.
Absolutely, and the secondary marketplaces are something that I'm favoring a lot because that's a cool revenue model for the creators of whatever, basically. So yes. Paul, I will bring up now the buzzword NFT. So in light of recent controversies around virtual currencies and NFTs, how do you think big brands can ensure that their metaverse experiences are transparent, fair, and accessible to all users?
They should be focusing on metaverse activations that don't involve crypto, NFTs, or blockchain. I think it's really simple. Stay away from all of these things that don't add any value to the end user, that isn't clear what the benefit is, but where there's a ton of downside. And this is, if I'm a big brand, I want the largest audience possible for whatever my metaverse activation is. If step one is I have to create a crypto wallet, I've now reduced the potential size of people who are going to go to this activation from, I don't know, pick a number, 2-3 billion, down to maybe 200 million active crypto wallets, maybe. I don't know why I would want that as a big brand. So my simple opinion is just stay far away from anything that involves those things, because it's not necessary. The metaverse can and will exist without all of those things, can and will succeed without any of those things. And I think the activation, the focus on the experience for the user is far more important than whether they get an NFT out of it or not. The real litmus test is if Gucci does an activation in Metaverse XYZ, do people come just once as a novelty, which has been the case so far, or do they truly come back for whatever reason, which no one has been able to accomplish?
Cool. And obviously,
Well, I
yeah.
disagree, but I'll leave it
Okay,
for the
please,
next,
go ahead.
next panel. I know we're running out of time, so we'll have another discussion afterwards.
Okay, what a pity. But avatars. When I was creating my avatar to my Metaverse Crypto Granny Cafe, I don't remember when I last time have had so fun and so good time with myself only. And my avatar, I even chose to have lipstick on her, so it's so fun. So this is coming to you, Roman. What do you think will be the most significant impact of digital avatars on human identity in the future, and how will this shape the way we interact with each other and the world around us?
Yeah, thank you for the question. What we see on the market right now, we see the cartoonish avatar. That's why we are developed the hyper-realistic avatar system for the markets. Right now we locate it on diffusion curve. This is like specific identity with metaverses and avatar system. I believe, absolutely believe, the avatars is main key for the heart in the metaverses, because if you create great avatars, you can implement this avatar to the gaming, to the metaverses, to the education system, and you can connection more deeply with your audience, with your teammates, and this is really crucial, I think. This is why 5 years ago, for example, we see uncanny valley effect with avatars, realistic avatars, because technologically don't be ready in this time. But now we're ready to go with a new system and with new quality with it. Yeah, and of course, the second reason, if we are connection with real estate, your avatar, and you see your copy in digital space, and anybody see you, and you can create multiple presets with your avatar and find for you really great results and beautiful skin, right? Yeah, that's it. I think it's really crucial for the metaverses, and this is why we are based on the technological solutions right now.
I just wanted to add something on what Paul said earlier. So for us, the metaverse is the convergence of gaming and blockchain. If you don't have the blockchain element, then what you're left with is just a game. And the blockchain is what gives it a new business model, a new economic system. And I have about 10 examples that I can think of where of activations of things that have delivered tangible value for brands that just wouldn't be possible without the blockchain element. So brand activation is not only about number of users. Of course, this is an important part of things. You want to reach as many users as possible, but that's a very social media type of criteria where you have the ability to reach 100 million people. It's true that right now on the blockchain metaverse you can't do that. However, you can build deeper relationship, which does matter, that does translate into conversion with maybe 5,000 people. So you look at different KPIs. If you try to benchmark the metaverse, just like you're benchmarking social media on just growth number of users, that doesn't compete. But if you look at new KPIs, new way to build engagement, then we have this proven track record, dozens of examples that make that possible. And those examples can be sales as well. The Fashion Week, Metaverse Fashion Week last year, it was 300,000 people that attended, not a big event, $5 million in NFT sales. And those were actual products that you can use on your avatar and that are still being used today by a lot of these users.
Thank you. So we have run out of time, unfortunately, and obviously these conversations, I could easily speak with you guys like a full day, no problem. But for the audience, if you are representing a brand, big or small, or a corporation, a company, considering jumping into the metaverse world, obviously here we have 4 experts to consult and help you out and advise you. So thank you guys for this amazing conversation. I give you Samuel, Andy, Paul, and Roman. Thank you very much, and thank you everyone for joining us.
Thank you so much.
Thank
Thanks
you.
for having us.